Hello, class. Welcome back to class after a long break and the start of Partial 3. I hope everyone had a great break, had some good time with the family over Christmas and the New Year. But I'm excited to get back to school, to get back to teaching, and to see every one of you again. So we're going to start this Partial by talking about plagiarism. So it's something that I realized has become a problem, and I just realized I had never really done a unit or done anything with you guys on it, and so I want to very clearly define what it is and define why we shouldn't be doing plagiarism, and then we can go forward and avoid it altogether. But let's get started with some questions. So this ideas, our first question is, why is it bad to steal others' ideas or work? When are we most likely to have this problem occur? And when is it okay to plagiarize? So when I am thinking about these questions, I feel like it's bad to take someone else's work that is not my own. I see it as stealing, and that's why I use that word, to steal other people's ideas. Because I do none of the work and then I take all their credit. I feel like this is easiest or most likely to occur or have this problem when we are given more responsibility or more freedom, which we have been this year. I feel like in my classes, when I have the teacher right next to me or other students looking at me, it's harder to cheat than when I am all by myself with my computer and the internet at my fingertips, just easy to get. So I think it is very easy, especially in this day and age of technology. And then when is it okay to plagiarize? It's never okay to plagiarize someone else's stuff. Some objectives for by the end of today is that we will understand what plagiarism is, we'll learn how to avoid it, and we'll practice summarizing a few examples. So I have a couple videos linked as always just about plagiarism, kind of the basics of it, avoiding plagiarism as well. So those are some good ones. I'm going to have you guys watch on your own as always. And then let's get into defining what plagiarism is. So plagiarism is the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. I got this from the Oxford Language Dictionary. I see it simply, plagiarism, as stealing and cheating, and it is a very serious problem. So we are taking someone else's work and saying they are our own. So for example, what does this look like? Maybe directly copying from someone's work. I've seen a lot of people, maybe they need to get their homework turned in, but they have waited till last minute, so they ask their friend just to write down all the answers that their friend got. That is plagiarism. That's that person who is just copying did none of the work. They didn't have to think through how to do the problem. They just took the answer. Another one is literally having someone else do your work. So maybe you have your older sibling just do all your homework for you, or you even pay someone to do it for you. That is plagiarism. Paraphrasing or copying without citing. So paraphrasing is like summarizing. If I have a full sentence of some information and I only change a few words, or I copy just directly, copy the whole thing. Maybe I'll use copy and paste, and I don't cite that work correctly. That is plagiarism. Or if I'm taking someone else's ideas or work and using them as my own, as our definition. So here are some examples, and then anything else that falls under this definition is plagiarism. So what will happen if I do it? So I've been really understanding about plagiarism so far. In Partial 1 and 2, we've had some problems with students wanting to just copy from the internet. And I've just tried to be really understanding, as it's a hard transition for everyone. I understand the difficulties of learning online, but from here on out, now that we've talked about plagiarism and we're going to learn how to avoid it, I will give you guys no credit for anything that is plagiarized, and I will not give you a chance to redo the work. So, we had some issues on our Partial 2 test. I'll let you guys redo that work for that Partial 2 test if it was plagiarized or that was the issue. But anything for Partial 3, Partial 4 will not be counted, and I will not let you guys redo it. I will also be keeping track of when this happens, and I will start giving out falta minors for each time this happens, because it is cheating. And anytime we do cheat, we get a falta minor. So I just want this to be very clear. This is your guys' last warning. If I do see it, it will be documented, and it will start resulting in more serious consequences. So just to be very, very clear, I never ever want you to copy and paste something from the internet, period. If you want to use the internet to help learn something new, or use the internet to maybe clarify some things, that's okay. But anytime you are taking someone else's words, someone else's ideas, and using them as your own, it is plagiarism, and it will not be counted anymore. So, how do we avoid it? I know it can be hard when we are hard to know when we're plagiarizing or not. So the easiest and best way to do it is always to write in your own words and your own ideas. Simply to do your own work. It is the most time consuming. It's the hardest. It helps us learn the best, though, to write everything in our own words and our own ideas. When we're using information or ideas from someone else, we need to cite it. And we'll get into we won't get into the details of citing it because I don't want you guys to really cite anything for my class. I really want you guys to do everything in your own words and ideas. If you are unsure about anything, please just ask me. I'm here to help you guys. The last thing is the only things that we do not need to cite is what's called common knowledge information. So just to be clear, common knowledge information is information which can be found across many different sources. So even though it may be new information to you, it may not be new information to everyone else. And a good example is there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in a human cell. You guys may have not known there are 23 pairs, but this is information that can be found in every biology textbook or website, so it is common knowledge. Some other examples are maybe when did Honduras gain its independence is common knowledge that a lot of people can know, or you can look and find on many different sources. But anytime it's new knowledge, anytime it's research, an idea, it needs to be cited and it needs to be in your own words. So let's practice together. We're going to read through this and then talk about if this is plagiarism or not and why. So, a student uses an internet article in researching her paper. She finds several of the ideas in the article useful and develops them in her own paper. Since she does not quote from the text, she does not cite it in her paper, but she does put the reference in her bibliography. So, this student is taking ideas from the internet, from a paper, using those same ideas without putting the proper citing. She puts it in her bibliography, but she doesn't put it in her paper, so she's not citing it correctly. She's not saying, hey, this exact idea came from so-and-so, came from this paper, came from this author. It did not come from me. And so because of that, this is plagiarism. So I have a worksheet, homework for you guys to go through that I will pull up right now. So this is going to be your homework for today. What I want you guys to do is identify each one of these as plagiarism or not and give a short reason why you believe so. So we actually just did this first example, so I would say this is not plagiarism because this is plagiarism. This is plagiarism because she did not cite it correctly. So I want you guys to go down and do the rest of these 10. And then there's also this second page. So based on identifying common knowledge. So we have a material is probably common knowledge if you find the same information undocumented in at least 5 other sources. So saying in 5 other sources someone didn't have a cite for it, you're good. You think the information that is something your readers will already know, or you think a person could easily find this information with general reference sources. So if it's easily found, if it's something that we all know, like the capital of Honduras is Tegucigalpa, that's something that we know that we don't need to cite. Or if it's easily found in 5 other sources. So then I want you guys to go through each one of these. The instructions are use these definitions above, so these 3 things, to consider these following scenarios. So to consider 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to decide whether or not you need to include a citation. So, for example, if your paper for a genetics class, you note that humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes. You didn't know this before you took the course, but decided to provide a citation for this information since all decided not to provide a citation for this information since all biology textbooks contain this information. So we actually use this in our PowerPoint as well. So since it's used in all biology textbooks, we can say that this is general knowledge, common knowledge. This is common knowledge because it is included in all biology textbooks. So I want you guys to, again, do the same thing that we did up here. Tell me if it's, rather than plagiarism, tell me if it is common knowledge, or include a little explanation on why you think so. And then, so that's just what I want you to do for the rest of these 4 examples as well. So hopefully with this practice, with watching some of those extra videos that I sent as well, we can be very clear on when we're plagiarizing and when we are not, when it's okay to, when we can summarize, when we should cite things, when it's taking someone else's ideas. And so going forward in our class, we can know why plagiarism is so important and why it is important to always be doing our own work. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you guys have any questions about plagiarism or anything else relating to the class and how I'm going to handle if I see plagiarism going forward, please let me know. As always, though, I hope you guys are doing well and look forward to seeing you next time.